Good morning. This is Darsh Kapadia, and today we will be interviewing Mr. Ketan Kapasi. So, Mr. Kapasi, why don't you introduce a bit about yourself?
Morning, Dash. This is Ketan Kapasi here. I'm into manufacturing and supply of specialty chemicals, and we have our plants spread over Gujarat, Baroda, and in Mumbai, Ambernath, and Navi Mumbai. We manufacture specialty chemicals which have application in agro, pharma, flavor fragrance industries. And it's a family business. We've been in this for the past more than 50 years now, and I'm the second generation in the business. Uh, I guess if there is anything specific that you would like me to say, I'm open to answering any questions now.
So, the questions I'll be asking are just general questions about your opinions on the safety conditions and how you think they can improve and should improve.
All
So,
right.
to start off, what is your definition of safety?
Definition of safety. So, like I said, since we're into manufacturing of specialty chemicals, now the chemical industry is a little hazardous in terms of operations. There are various hazards which are involved, and for us, safety means that there should be zero incidents in the year. In it could be anything from a minor injury to a spillage, leakage, etc. So anything that relates or could be termed as a incident, accident is an area of concern, and we want to ensure that we have zero such incidents in the year. So safety is where not just physical injury to an employee or a person, but even in the plant, if there is a spillage, that's also an safety concern.
Safety issue, yeah. So, according to you, what do you think is the most important factor regards to safety?
Uh, in terms of ensuring safety, you mean
Yeah,
important factor, or
in
what
terms of
is your
ensuring safety. What do you think is the most
uh,
important thing you can implement to ensure that safety is um, followed at your factory?
so there are two aspects to it. One is the human aspect, where human errors, etc., or where people are concerned. So there, the most important thing is right kind of training
Hmm.
and continuous training. So you need to keep on updating your people. You need to ensure that all your employees go through that training process. They understand what they are doing, how they are handling the chemicals that are there, what could be the problem areas, what could be the hazards. They should be made well aware about that. So that is as far as employees are concerned. And then you train them, if at all there is an incident, then how they need to behave, what they need to do, how they need to react. So without the right kind of training, it would be difficult for them to take some action when there is an incident. And they are right in the middle of it in the plant. So it's very important that they realize and understand the implications of what they are doing.
Yeah.
Wrong thing, wrong process, wrong time that they do something could lead to a major accident. So you have to ensure that everything has been done correctly. So that's as far as the human aspect of safety is concerned. The other side is from the plant point of view. You have to ensure you need to do preventive maintenance. You need to do routine checks wherever you are handling certain hazard conditions. You need to ensure that your equipment are maintained and kept in order so that they don't break down at the wrong time.
So employee training and equipment, keeping equipment,
Maintenance.
yeah, safe.
Yeah, so preventive maintenance is very important. Then corrective. If there is something, then you need to investigate why it happened, what went wrong, and then you need to ensure that in the future some such similar incidents don't occur. So you need to take some corrective actions as well.
Hmm. So, what are your thoughts on the current conditions of safety in the industrial sector? In general, what have you observed?
Uh, okay, so as an organization ourselves, we are pretty conscious about it,
Hmm.
and we have in place various training modules, various policies which ensure that we at least do our best to try and see that there are no such accidents. Safety is taken care of. You have people who are in charge of safety who are responsible for it, and they need to do their routine activities, inspection, supervision, etc., to ensure that all norms that we have laid down are followed. Now, it all depends. There are companies who are smaller and they kind of sometimes ignore safety.
Yeah.
They try and cut corners, they take shortcuts, and that's dangerous, especially in our industry. Maybe some other industry which could be like a mechanical engineering industry where it may not lead to anything uh, drastic or causing safety issues for employees. But in
It's
our
vital in
industry,
the
yes,
chemical
it's,
industry. Yeah.
yeah, it's explosive. So it's paramount that people do take that into consideration. So larger companies, um, they do a lot more than what smaller companies do. But safety is something that everybody needs to do. So that cost and that a little bit of concern
The
needs to
effort that they're
be
putting in. Yeah.
taken into consideration by the owners.
Hmm.
So as an owner, for us, safety is something that we always ensure that it is being done. Uh, it's one area where we feel that that is something, an accident is something that can shut you down.
Hmm.
If you want
I
to
see that. I
ensure
see that.
continuity, you have to ensure that you are following everything in
Yeah.
the right protocol, and you ensure that your employees also follow everything.
Okay, so what do you think is a stark difference between what the major industries and the minor industries are doing with regards to safety?
Which industries? Mine
The
and
the major and the minor.
major and the mine. So I kind of gave a little bit of a brief in that in the
Yeah.
previous question, where larger corporations, they have a bigger budget, they employ
Hmm.
more people, and they ensure that they follow protocols. They ensure that their plants are shut down for routine maintenance at every periodic interval. For them, that loss of production is something that they have accounted for in their working and costing. Whereas for smaller companies, every single day is important, so they don't want to shut down. They don't want to do that routine maintenance. uh, they feel that nothing has happened, so we'll continue, but that's not the case. So that's a major difference in the thought process between large corporations, and I'm being very specific to our industry. uh, so large corporations like someone like a BSF, every
Hmm.
plant of theirs will go down for a shutdown every year for 15 days, 30 days, depending on how they need to do the routine maintenance. And sometimes it is a 2-year program, sometimes it's a 3-year program in terms of the intervals at which they do their routine maintenance. So these are all preventive things which need to be done, and also training. So many of these large corporations are very finicky about how they train people, and come what may, everybody has to attend certain. Even if you're just sitting in the office, you need to know. So even in the office, I have visited certain offices of large corporations where just visiting the office, I have to undergo a safety training. So they will tell me, this is the exit area. This is where you have to undergo that before you can even enter their
Yeah.
office, and that is valid for 2 years. So when, after 2 years, when you visit them again, you have to go through that process again.
The same process.
Yeah. So that's the difference between a major company and a minor company, I
So the
would say.
minor companies will take more risks and they'll put safety on the line for more
Yes.
productivity.
Yes, they do. They do.
Removing
And
every
at
excess that
times,
can
at
be.
times we've also done that. At times we've also done that because there's some pressure for supply of material, and yeah. So, but it's something that should be avoided.
Hmm. Yeah. So, how do you think, what is one way that you think that factories in the industrial sector can improve on with regards to safety? Any safety protocols or measures they can implement?
Everyone has to study their own industry and do a HAZOP study. So all operations need to be studied. Wherever there's a hazard which would be involved, they need to ensure that the right kind of measures are put in place so that even with human error also, it's difficult for something to go wrong. Something very simple like in our own homes, you've seen those circuit breakers are there
Hmm.
for the electrical. Now, what is that? That's just a safety measure,
Safety measure.
and it's automatic, right? So if something short circuits in your bedroom, in the switchboard there,
Yeah,
the
the
entire
fuse will
house
burst. Yeah.
electricity is cut off because it'll automatically cut it off. And
Hmm.
that ensures that no other further damage is not taking place. So these are the kind of things which are there. So safety is something which is very important. Seat belts in cars, circuit breakers in homes. Same way in the industry also, you need to have the right kind of uh, uh, measures in place, which
Hmm.
will ensure that anything that is going wrong is just limited at that point of time. You'll have, if there is a leakage somewhere, you'll have some water blowing somewhere so people understand. These are the kind of things which are there.
Hmm. So, do you think
So
there are
having the
any?
right, yeah, having everything in place.
Yeah. So, do you think there are any notable improvements in safety measures in like the general industrial sector?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Do you think there are any notable improvements in safety in the industrial sector?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Something. So I've been in business for the now past 30 years almost, and what we did back then and what we do now, uh, there are a lot of things that we've improved
It's
upon.
different, yeah.
So we didn't have a safety manager here since the last 15, 20 years. We have a safety manager in place who, ensures that things are done correctly.
Hmm.
No, these are the kind of things that are there.
Yeah.
Safety belts, if someone is doing some construction activity, so now you ensure that everybody is wearing a safety belt if they're climbing up somewhere, helmets, glasses, eyeglasses. So we've started investing in that. So everyone is going through that process. It all depends on at what stage you are of your growth cycle, I would say.
Hmm. Okay. And so to end it all now, for a company that's just starting out, a new startup company, what would you suggest to invest in with regards to safety? The number one thing.
Someone just starting out, depending on what industry you're in,
The chemical
but
industry, same as yours.
the chemical industry, oh, it's a large thing, so you have to ensure everything is there. One needs to do that. So there is nothing that I can say that okay, if you don't do this from safety point of view, it's okay. That's wrong. So, but the right people, the right training, the right systems, you need to implement that from day one so that it is followed. And as in when the organization grows, uh, you don't need to change these things going forward because changing it is difficult.
Hmm.
So changing a mindset, if someone is working without gloves for the last 5 years, ever since he began, and then now you tell him that okay, now please wear gloves and do it, he's not going to do it because he's not used to it. So if you
Yeah.
can implement if you can implement these things right from day one, the you are ensuring that you are going to continue and you're going to grow in the right way. You're going to try and avoid. It's not that accidents don't happen; they do happen, but you reduce the chances. You
Hmm.
reduce the risks that are there.
Yeah.
And then accident is accident. I mean, that's why it's called an accident. So that one cannot avoid if there is something that is beyond your control. But
Hmm.
whatever is in your control, you try and ensure that you are doing it right from day one.
Hmm. Yeah.
Similar, that's true for any industry, I would
For any
say.
industry. All right. Thank you so much for agreeing to be here and sharing your opinion.
Thank you, Darsh. Thank you for kind of rejuvenating this thought process in my mind. I need to also go and check back that are we following everything? But it's good. It's nice
Yeah.
that this awareness is created and you're taking some steps in that direction.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you for having me over.